According to the Gift of Life donor program, about 36,000 Americans receive a life-saving organ transplant a year. 17 people sadly die a year waiting on the transplant list because lack of donors. 10 people a day are added to this transplant waiting list. Imagine if that was you or your loved one that is now on that list. Becoming an organ donor is super simple and very, very important to many. Today I'm going to be talking to you about why you should become an organ donor and why it's so important. Currently, there is an extreme need, especially during coronavirus pandemic. Since the beginning of the pandemic, the U.S. has taken a huge hit in donors, especially deceased organ donors. Penn Medicine has reported that the U.S. has at least a 50% decrease in the amount of organ donors. This is a very big issue because people need these organs to survive. Cleveland Clinic states that a transplant is needed when the recipient's organs have failed and no longer work. Like I said above, 17 people die a day waiting for their new transplant. With a decrease in donors and the fact that 17 people die a day waiting for their organ, this is a recipe for disaster. Our fellow Americans are in desperate need of organs, and we could save them by signing up to be an organ donor. If that was you or your loved one, wouldn't you have wanted more people to sign up to become an organ donor? I've personally lived this firsthand. In 2011, my grandfather was diagnosed with liver cancer, and his only option was a liver transplant. This time was very hard for me and my family, as we were worried sick that our grandpa would pass before getting his new organ. This is the reality for many families around the United States because of the lack of donors and how long it takes. While waiting for his transplant, he became very sick. Thankfully, someone was an organ donor, and when they passed, their selfless act saved my grandfather's life. Although my family was so happy, our hearts went out to the donor and the donor's family during their extreme period of loss. The donor selflessly gave life even after passing, and if it weren't for them, my grandfather wouldn't be here today. He's happy and healthy now because someone donated their organs. This is something I feel so passionately about because if it weren't for the person who signed up, he wouldn't be here anymore. After being in that situation and feeling the hopelessness of waiting for an organ, I urge everyone to do the simple and very important task and register to be an organ donor. Would you save a life if you were able to? Everyone is able to be an organ donor no matter the age. Adults are able to become an organ donor, and parents are able to consent for their children to donate their organs. According to organdonor.gov, even babies and senior citizens have donated their organs before. There are two types of organ donations. The first one being a live donation, which is when a healthy donor, such as myself or anybody, is able to donate tissues, a kidney, part of their liver, or even a lung. In a deceased donation, this is once the person has passed and they are able to donate almost all of their organs. They even can donate tissues and bone marrow, which will go on to help lots of people. When donating almost all of your organs, you actually save around 8 people, according to the American Transplant Foundation. That's right, when donating, you can save around 8 people. The gift of life is truly an amazing gift to give someone. It's super easy. When getting your license, simply say yes when they ask if you want to donate your organs, just like I did. Or if you've already got your license, simply go to your state's online registry. It's super easy and only takes a few minutes of your time, and you potentially could be saving a ton of people's lives. Make sure to keep your family in the loop so they know what your wishes are when it comes to donate your organs. It's obviously going to be a hard time, so it makes it very easy on them to know what you wished for and know that they are fulfilling what you would have wanted. Finally, there are thousands and thousands of people that are gravely sick and are hoping and praying to get that call that there's an organ to save their life. You could be someone's miracle and give them a second chance at life. Change starts with each and every one of you. You can do one last selfless act and give someone the gift of life when you lose your life. Be an organ donor.